Hey, welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year and all that. The New Year was a few weeks ago, but who can really tell anymore? My province is on lockdown again, so time really has no meaning. It's not real, it's just a human construct anyway. And I promise I haven't completely lost my mind during this pandemic yet. And in my last video, I actually promised I'd do a tour of Rockwood next as my next video in this series of Newisle 1.3 updates I'm doing for you guys. And that's what I'm going to do today. So Rockwood is an area that was first settled back in 2011 in Newisle World and was always intended to be a second smaller city as Newisle is its capital. That's the biggest city and they're very smug about it, those Newislers. The people from Rockwood, meanwhile, are a bit more chill, but deep down inside they're a little jealous and a little bit insecure about their status as the second city in this world. But nonetheless, Rockwood is an important place in this world as it has a dedicated highway link now, which I'm on and I'll show you guys now. So this is the N1 Expressway, which links the two cities. It's a new addition, a recent addition that I've introduced to make it a bit easier to get between these two cities. So it keeps them linked between their central areas via a tunnel and looks quite snazzy. It's the first real expressway that's been added to Newisle World as opposed to the highway system, which is usually like 2 lanes in each way. Over here, you'll find that I've added a bit more to the waterfront in Rockwood City. So I've added an expanded park, a much nicer looking park, and done away with the old sword statue. But don't worry, that's just been moved. It hasn't been completely deleted. Instead, in its place, I've added what I've called Rockhenge, which is an obvious allusion to Stonehenge over in England, which I very much hope to check out one day after the pandemic's all said and done. And then I've added an expanded rail bridge over here, a much nicer rail bridge, because Rockwood, even though it got settled in 2011, it didn't really start getting built up until about 2015 to 2016. And then 2016 is when all work stopped completely and I focused on other areas of the map. But as you know, Minecraft has gone through lots of tweaks and has gotten lots of bells and whistles since then. So the building styles have changed and building techniques have been updated, and I gave this bridge a big refresh. Over here to the left, you'll find the Rocks Tower. So this is a Newisle-esque mixed-use building, which is primarily a condo, but it's got retail at the bottom here. So this is my first stab at introducing a Newisle-style high-rise into the city of Rockwood, and it's got some very nice views up top from the penthouse, and it's meant to be a very much a luxury building. And it even has its own weird little artscape down here in the parkette next to it. I don't know if the Rockwood people are very happy about Newisle style buildings coming to their city, but it is what it is. The Rocks Tower looks pretty cool. Over here to the left, you'll find I've added a fire station complete with vehicles. So that's an addition to every town and city that's coming to Newisle version 1.3. And not much going on over here. I've left the residential area intact. But I've added a parking lot complete with the P-style parking garage and parking indicators that I have in the City of Newisle. So this is the parking lot that kind of feeds the metro station here on the outskirts. And you'll see that I've actually relocated that sword that was removed in favor of Rockhenge to this part of the world instead. So I'm not getting rid of history entirely, I'm just moving it over for bigger and better. Then over here you'll find a police station that I've added. This is the main police station of the city of Rockwood, and it's complete with vehicles as well. Up here you'll also find a jail to keep those no good Rockwood folks in there, anybody that's been committing any crimes. Over to the left over here you'll find a Louisiana New Orleans style home that I've added, as this is intended to be a bit of a bayou area. And then a park over here where a bunch of villagers and mobs seem to be stuck. A bit of an error on their part or user experience flaw, I don't know, but I'm not digging them out. They can just stay in there. Then you'll find another one of those New Orleans style homes, which is kind of a museum, very kind of like 19th century-esque. And then a service station and gas station over here. Then closer to the downtown, I've added a new public school system, as that's another one of my key features in Newisle version 1.3 is adding like public schools and all sorts of standardized services to each and every city and town across the world. So this one looks like a bit of a prison. It's kind of loosely modeled on the first elementary school that I went to, which also had this brutalist architecture to it. I promise I didn't actually go to a prison when I was growing up instead of a school. My building just kind of lacked imagination and lacked, I guess you could say, a way of being expressful and showing that the students are experiencing any sort of joy in their public school. So this is definitely based loosely on my first public school experience. Make of that what you will. And then that is the entire east side of Rockwood. West side, meanwhile, is a bit more sleepy and residential, so you'll see that reflected in more of the low-rise style of the buildings here. It's a lot more residential, a lot more low-slung and sleepy, and you'll find a lot of residential additions or buildings from the previous version of Rockwood that have been shifted over to make room for the new builds, but also keep the old buildings to keep that history there. So over here I've added a little strip mall, and this has 4 little shops and businesses in it, along with a reference to Back to the Future. And the strip mall is named the same way for that movie. So this is the Twin Pines Plaza, even though it doesn't have any pines here, but whatever. I name things over things I like. And sue me. I don't always put all the details in. I just like the name. And then you'll find a few more residential sections over here. And I've added a new transit line, the M4 Emerald line over here to link this new area of Rockwood. And you'll find a few of the other details I've added to the other side, the east side of Rockwood. So this is a fire station here. I've got a public school as well, so education isn't relegated to that one brutalist, lacking in imagination prison-style building over there. And then I've converted one of the old builds and upgraded it and turned it into a police station over here. Did a little landscaping over here and turned this water tower into a park, or at least the space underneath it. And then finally over here I've added a few new businesses, a few new little shops and residences above it too. So you'll have the standard grocery store. I've added a liquor store over here, and then a pharmacy over here. So lots of new stuff in Rockwood. There have been a count of 20 buildings added to the latest version of it for a total of 139 in the city of Rockwood. So not quite Newisle tier just yet, as it was never really meant to be. It's always been that second city, but quite a lot going on in the city of Rockwood, and I hope you'll enjoy these updates that are coming to Newisle version 1.3. So Rockwood is completely finalized now and should offer fans a lot of new stuff to explore, as well as addressing some of the feedback that I've gotten over the years in terms of stuff to add. So if you'd like to explore the new Rockwood, you can see it as well as all of my new builds that I've added to the in-progress version of Newisle version 1.3 over on my Discord channel. So I post pre-release downloads there exclusively for the members there. We've got about 400 new members now, and it's a growing community of Newisle fans that discuss the map and build on the dedicated server that we've got going on, which has a parallel version of the map called the Community Edition that people have added their awesome new builds to. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to subscribe to see more of Newisle World, and be sure to check out the City of Newisle Discord server I linked below in case you want to interact with the community and check out these pre-release downloads. And then finally, hop on the server and build with us. Have an awesome time, guys, with 2021 being kind of an extension of 2020 in a way, but bear with us, bear with me. It'll get better from here on out. See you next time.